So once we have the line plot drawn, the next thing we can do is we can calculate the measures of central tendency. That is the mean, median, mode, and range for that line plot. Now I'm going to start with the simplest ones, the easiest ones. So let's start with range, keeping in mind that range is your greatest value minus your lowest value. Well, 28 is our highest, 21 is our lowest in the data. We can see that right from the line plot itself. So 28 minus 21 is 7. So our range is 7. Next, I'm going to go to mode. Mode is what occurs the most. Now, the nice thing with the line plot is we can look. We see two 21s, we see one 22, we see three 23s. Look at all these 24s. We have five 24s. So our tallest one is where we're going to find our mode. See how much taller that is than these other ones? So our mode is 24. So the nice thing is when we're looking at a line plot, the mode pops out at us, 24. Next, let's go to median. Now, a couple things to remember. Median is the middle value after they've been put in order. Well, if it's on a line plot, it already is in order. See, it goes from 21 up to 28. The other part, though, for median that you have to remember is we need to know if it's an even amount of data or an odd amount of data. Because for an even amount, we know there's going to be two numbers in the middle. And for an odd amount of data, we're just going to have one number in the middle. Okay, so I quickly count through my data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 16 X's, which means I have an even amount of data. And if I have an even amount of data, that means I'm going to end up with two numbers somewhere in the middle. And I'm going to have to find the middle of those two numbers. So now I can go ahead and I can start crossing off. What do I want to do? I want to cross off high and low. So I start crossing off 21 and 28. Then I do 21 and 28 again. Then 22 and 27. Then 23 and 27. And then 23 again and 27. Then 23 and 24. Then 24 and 24. And now I am left with my last two digits. My last two values. My last two values are these two X's right here. Well, they both are on 24, so my median is actually pretty simple. My median is 24, because they both ended up on the same one. Alright, so now my last thing I need to do is I need to find the mean for my line plot. Now, just like any other type of um, measures of central tendency, when I calculate the mean for any set of data, I want to add it all up, and then I want to divide by the amount of data I have. So I add these up. Now what I like to do is keep track of it along the way. So two 21s, that's 42. This one's 22. And notice I just jot these numbers down at the top. 3 23s is 69, jot that down. 5 24s is 120. 3 27s is 81. And 2 28s is 56. And then the next thing I need to do is I need to count them, add them up going across, and get a final total. Well, these add up to a total of 390, which I'm going to divide by, well, let's see, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. There's all these numbers, but these are not the data. So when I'm looking at this is not my data down here. That's not my data. My data is all of these in here. Okay, these are all my data. So I want to count by the total number of X's I have, which in this case is 16. So I'm going to divide it by 16. Okay, which I can pull out my calculator for. But before I do that, I always like to, with my mean, and with any line plot, like to think about, okay, if it's going to be somewhere near the middle, I'm estimating that my mean is going to be somewhere. I kind of see a lot of x's here, so my mean is going to be kind of somewhere in here, 23, 24, 25, somewhere in there. If I get something other than that, I'm probably expecting did something incorrectly. So I type in my 390, I'm going to hit divided by 16, and I get 24.375, which is about where I expected, somewhere near the middle. So my mean is 24.375. And that's how you find the measures of central tendency on a line plot.